Hi, I am IZYAN binti ALAYUDIN. I am from class 2L.
Hello, my name is MIRA from class STA104.
Hi, my name is NURSYAZWINA binti ZULHAMZI. I'm from 2L.
Hi, my name is SITI binti HAZLAN. I am from 2L. Young adults, especially students, are thinking about living a healthy lifestyle as they go through a crucial transition from high school to university. At this point, students are adjusting to a new way of life and are free to choose any meal choices that suit their preference. The years that students spend in university might have an impact on the standard of their lifestyle and eating habits when they start making their own food decisions. Due to the fact that they can now select the food of their choice, this will cause some health-related difficulties. We are interested in doing this study to learn more about the eating habits of the students at Uitm Tapah, since we believe that everyone has their own eating habits. Concerns regarding university students' health can be significantly raised by their eating habits. Consequently, we have three objectives when conducted this study. First, to determine food preference of Uitm Tapah students. Second, to determine whether Uitm Tapah students practice a healthy eating style. Third, to determine money spent by Uitm Tapah students on food weekly.
Next, I will be explaining the sampling technique used by our groups. The sampling technique is probability sampling method, which is simple random sampling. The reason we said this because we randomly choose the first 50% that submitted our Google form. The population of our study case is all students of Uitm Tapah, and the sampling frame is a list of 50 students of Uitm Tapah. The reason we choose to do a e-questionnaire instead of a physical questionnaire is because it is easier for us to distribute our questionnaire, and the respondents can fill the form whenever and wherever they are. So the steps is the questionnaire was constructed based on our research objective, and then we distributed the Google Form questionnaire through various chat of WhatsApp groups, and then from the total submitted form, we choose only the first 50%, the first 50 respondents for us to continue conducting our research.
I will present about data collection method. The information that have been collected and recorded for the purpose of studying sources by primary data. We use a questionnaire to collect the data. This method aims to collect the information from respondents using Google Form. So then we share the link through the WhatsApp group. This is the easiest way and more faster to collect the data. The questionnaire consists of two sections. First section is to find out about respondents' background information, while the second section is to study on eating habits among students in Uitm Tapah. In our survey, we have used two types of variable, quantitative and qualitative. For the level of measurement, we have used nominal, ordinal and ratio. There are about 50 students who have chosen to complete the questionnaire.
Next, we have data analysis and results for 7 questions that we have asked in our questionnaire. First question, we have gender. According to the bar chart above, which shows that 39 out of 50 respondents to our survey were female, we are able to conclude that the majority of the respondents to our survey are female. The remaining are 11 students, which is all male students. Second question, we have semester. Based to the pie chart above, 82% of the students who respond to our survey are now enrolled in semester 2. Approximately 4 out of 50 students, or 8% of the data, are now enrolled in their 4th semester. The following 6% of the data come from students that are currently enrolled in semester 1. Finally, the smallest percentage of the data, which is 4%, comes from semester 3. Next question, we have type of food that students always find eating. According to the frequency table above, which shows that 34 students out of 50 would rather eat Malaysian food, we may conclude that most students share this preference. Next, around 8 students enjoy fast food. Other than that, 7 students have selected Western food. Lastly, only 1 student prefers to eat vegetarian food more.
Now I'll be explaining the fourth question, which is how many times do you eat in a day? Based on our analysis, the mean is 2.3, showing that the average number of times eaten of students of Uitm Tapah is 2 times. Next, the median value is 2.1333, showing that 50% of the students eat less than or equal to 2 times in a day, and another 50% of the students eat more than or equal to 2 times in a day. The MOHD value is 2.4545, showing that most of the students eat 2 times in a day, since the highest frequency is 1 until 2 times eaten in a day. Next, we will discuss the measure of position. Based on the histogram, we can conclude that the graph is positively skewed, which is skewed to the right with the measure of skewness 0.54. The first quartile value at 2.04, showing that 25% of the students eat less than or 2 times in a day, and another 75% of the students eats more than or 2 times in a day. Next, the second quartile value at 2.13, showing that 50% of the students eat less than or 2 times in a day, and another 50% of the students eats more than or 2 times in a day. Lastly, the third quartile showing a value of 3.8, showing that 75% of the students eat less than 3 times in a day, and another 25% of the students eats more than 3 times in a day. Finally, we will discuss the measures of dispersion. The variance value is 0.8571, showing of how much the number in the data vary from the mean, while the standard deviation valued at 0.9258, showing the distance between numbers of the data.
According to the data we received from the survey we have done, most students do not skip breakfast, which is 29 students, which makes up a total of 58% of the whole graph. However, the balance of 42%, which is made up of 21 students, often skip breakfast. So through this survey, we could conclude that the number of students that do not skip breakfast are much bigger than students that often skip breakfast by a simple majority of 8 students.
For question 6, how much do students spend on food weekly? Based on analysis, we can decide that the mean is 57, showing that the average of students spend is 57 ringgit weekly. Next, the median is 50, means that 50% of students spend less than 50 ringgit and remaining students spend more than 50 ringgit weekly. The mode is 40.3226, showing that the most of students spend RM40 32 cents in a week, since RM0 to RM50 has the highest frequency. Next, for the first quartile is 25, showing that 25% of students spend less than 50 ringgit weekly, and the other 75% of students spend more equal and more than 50 ringgit weekly. The second quartile value at 50, showing that 50% of students spend at 50 ringgit weekly, and the other 50% of students spend more than 50 ringgit weekly. And the third quartile value at 82.8947, showing that 75% of students spend less than 100 ringgit in a week, and the other 25% of students spend more than 100 ringgit weekly. The interquartile range is 57.8947, showing the difference between in the data set, and the measure of skewness 0.5604, that show that the graph is positively skewed. For variance value, that showing the value of how much the number in data vary. From mean is 1404.0816, while the standard deviation is explained the distance between number of the data set is 37.4711.
So the pie chart you are looking at right now represents students in Uitm Tapah who binge eat when they are stressed. So as you look at the bigger sector, 36%, which are made up of 18 students, are neutral when it comes to the idea of binge eat when they are stressed. It is then followed by 22% that are made up of 11 students that strongly agree that they binge eat when they are stressed, whereby 20%, which are made up of 10 students, thus agree to the idea. The chart then takes attain, as to which students that strongly disagree makes up the balance of the whole chart. 12% made up of 6 students and 10% made up of 5 students, respectively. So in the end, what we can conclude is that majority and neutral, while disagree makes up the smallest percentage of the whole chart.
And finally, we have conclusion. From the 55 respondents who answered the questionnaire, we picked the first 50 students as our sample study. Through this survey, it is found that most of the students that answered the survey are females in their second semester. Next, the majority of students have a preference for Malay food rather than other options available on campus. Other than that, students in Uitm Tapah mainly have the frequency of once or twice a day when it comes to eating. Moreover, most students do not skip breakfast. Furthermore, the majority of students that answered this survey do not spend more than 50 ringgit on food weekly. Lastly, when we ask whether they incorporate the habits of binge eating whenever they are stressed, most are neutral to the idea. In the end, we can conclude that most students in Uitm Tapah practice healthy eating habits.